The Lord shall go forth as a mighty man. He shall stir up jealousy like a man of war. He shall cry, yea, roar. He shall prevail against his enemies. I have long time holden my peace. I have been still and refrained myself. Now will I cry like a travailing woman. I will destroy and devour at once. I will make waste mountains and hills and dry up all their herbs. And I will make the rivers islands, and I will dry up the pools. But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying, and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came, and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. Then shall two be in the field, the one shall be taken, the other left. Two women shall be grinding at the mill, the one shall be taken, and the other left. Watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your Lord doth come. But know this, that if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched, and would not have suffered his house to be broken up. Therefore be ye also ready. For in such an hour as ye think not, the Son of Man cometh. Who then is a faithful and wise servant, whom his Lord hath made ruler over his household to give them meat in due season? Blessed is that servant, whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. Verily I say unto you, that he shall make him ruler over all his goods. But, and if that evil servant shall say in his heart, My Lord delayeth his coming, and shall begin to smite his fellow servants, and to eat and drink with the drunken, the Lord of that servant shall come in a day, when he looketh not for him, and in an hour that he is not aware of, and shall cut him asunder, and appoint him his portion with the hypocrites. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
Rawchaa, Yahawashi, Rawchaa, Yahawah, Rawchaa, Yahawah, Rawchaa, Yahawashi.
All right, Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the hopeful elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negro, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, Haitians, foreign Israelites that live like the other nations scattered across the four corners of the earth. Want to give all praise to Barak, 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 got to give all praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash, name of the Heavenly Father. Everybody ignorantly calls God. His true name in the ancient Hebrew, which is the Lashon Qadash. His true name is Yahawah. Bahasham means in the name of. Yahawashi is the Holy One of Israel. Everybody ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, so-called Negro from the tribe of Judah, who was slain at the foundations of the earth for the salvation of the elect of Israel. Then you got 2/3 of the wicked Israelites here in America, Babylon, the great, and the other wicked Israelites scattered across the four corners of the earth that are come to the loins of the elect after the destruction. And the Rawchaa Qadash is the Holy Spirit that's been bestowed upon men. The Heavenly Father gave his only begotten Son out of the world to complete this work. So we always want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of great millstone. Let us all to this truth, been ordained by the Lord to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, so go towards righteousness and mercy, judgment, forgiveness, and wrath to all those who are part of the elect, to the hopeful elect. Shalom, I used to say believers out there tuning in here and on after Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash, Atham. Shalom, Malak, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash, Atham. GMS versions, I illustrate gauge. Shalom, Malak. And, we're just going to go into some various end-time topics and, just go over a couple things that are going on around America, Babylon the Great, and a few other places in the four corners of the earth. So the title is Bunker Sales Have Increased. The hopeful elect will buy no such thing. And that is the one thing that we don't do. We're not going to buy into the world's means of trying to escape the Lord. And shalom. Yeah, you know, we ain't gonna buy into the way this world is trying to escape the judgment coming. You know, it talked about how we'll behold his righteousness and wait till he pleads our cause and decides whether we whatever judgment or whatever part in this ministry we have to play out. And so I just want to go into some various end time topics. You know, how I said there's a lot of people in the end of days that are eating and drinking and marrying, and really what they're saying is like you got people who are they're focused on continuing life here, and it's to the point to where it's you know, for someone who is, even if they're not in the truth, you know, that's intelligent, they are even preparing for the destruction of this place. That's why they're buying a lot more bunkers. So we're going to go into that, and also go into, you have this other part of Babylon who they have this faith in these princes and the kings of this place, and we know that that's not going to prevail. So all we have is Yahawah, Bahasham, and Yahawashi to bring us out of here. So Lord willing is edifying to the flock. It says, Laura Trump says the Most High intended for Trump to win and believes he was chosen to save America. And that's what the Lord, he has, you know, these people in this spirit to believe that they're really going to get out of here. But we know it's a hopeful elect. We're not going to buy into that. We're not going to buy into these false messiahs, these false, you know, rays of hope that's beaming out of this place right now. So this is Psalms chapter 146, verse 3. Put not your trust in princes, nor in the Son of Man, in whom there is no help. See, they're not going to help. So you got these same people who are saying, you know, God bless America. Well, if y'all using the Most High as something to bring in y'all so-called savior, you know, you got to apply that to the scriptures. And it specifically goes into not trusting this system. That's what the Bible mainly goes into. A friend of the world is an enemy of the Most High. So the fact that these Edomites, so-called white men, own the earth, how could you say you love the Lord and then you dealing with them? It just don't work. It just don't match. Verse 4, his breath goeth forth, he returneth to his earth, and that very day his thoughts perish. So that's how we know that, you know, these devils, man, you can't trust in these devils. And, you know, on top of that, you know, we know that at the end of the day, this place is not going to get healed. This is Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 9. We would have healed Babylon, right? Talking about America, Babylon the Great. But she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go everyone into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies, right? And we're going in the other day about the debt of this place, you know, and the things that they've done to Jake, you so-called Negro, Latinos, Native Americans. You know, what has happened to us here in America. The Lord's not going to let that go. You know, it talked about how, you know, we're his sons. You know, and then also, you know, you Yahawah women, you out there who believe y'all are the daughters. And he talked about how he's not going to even leave us unpunished. So how much more for our enemies? They got to pay the price for what they did to us. And, you know, we getting to that point now at the end of days that a lot of people are fearing, you know, all these so-called UFOs, these, you know, the chariots. You know, they're fearing and seeing all of them flying around and causing certain things to happen. And that's why a lot of them are trusting in, you know, they're trusting in vain help. And even their own experts are saying when they try to go to these bunkers, it's not going to help them. It says nuclear bunker sales increase. Despite experts' warnings, they are not going to provide protection. So even if you do go and try to run or whatever, and get down and go into these bunkers, even their own experts are saying that it's not going to save you from the Most High. That's ultimately what they're saying. You know, they got all that stuff, self-sufficient energy source, all that, you know, all that stuff down there. They telling you it's not going to work, man. Why? Because a lot of them, their hearts are failing them for fear because they have this guilt on them. Even so-called white man has this shame on him, and he knows that, you know, the Lord is coming for him. And eventually everything that he pulled together is going to get rooted out. But just like the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, he's going to harden these Edomites' heart, and they're going to, you know, which is their mind, and they're going to go out here and still try to survive. You know, they're going to go out here and try to prevail through, you know, their left-hand sided energy, you know, their means of having physical provisions. And, you know, in the other times they have survived, you know, and, you know, now that they know that this is the last time, it's definitely going to be like some devilish type shit going on out here, man. And if you're not with, you know, you're not with the sheepfold, you're not with the hopeful elect, then there's no chance that you're going to survive this. Even if it even said, you know, the righteous shall be scarcely saved. And we going to, you know, the ones that do die in the faith, you know, I was listening to Apostle Kabar earlier, and he was saying, like, you know, the ones that do die in the faith, it's going to be easiest for us because we already hate this place. You know, we already tired of this place. You know, he was going into his lesson about 7 things that, you know, they are a good sign that you are the elect. And that's why, you know, we have a good chance of making it out of here. Some of us might do have to pay the sacrifice like Yahawashi did, but you will be rewarded, you know, with everlasting life and more than that. So Amos chapter 9, verse 1, I saw the Lord standing upon the altar, and he said, smite the lintel of the door that the post may shake and cut them in the head, all of them. That's talking about that 7-headed beast system. You know, the kingdoms that Edom rules over. You know, you got Germanium Minor, Germanium Major. You know, you got the Spanish, you got the French, you got the British, and then you got the Romans, and then you have the Greeks, and that's the 7-headed beast system. That's how it's talking about. Cut them in the head. That's power system. And I will slay the last of them with the sword. Right, going into, you know, ultimately the missiles. That's why they're going under these bunkers. But we're not going to buy into that. The Lord said he will redeem us without money. So we know that in the end of these days, you're going to see a lot more and more of people starting to realize that their demise was written aforetime for our learning, you know, for Israel's learning, for us to know what not to do in these times. And one thing is to be hasty in the time of trouble. And, you know, that's what these times are for us, for training. So when there is times of trouble, you learn now, you know, in these situations, you know, to be more patient. And that's something that we all, you know, do good sometimes, and sometimes we don't do good at it. But the Lord makes it happen like that so you can be prepared, you know, because if you don't go through certain situations and fall down, then how does that make you a saint? Because it said that the saints will fall down 7 times and get back up again, which, you know, we know 7 means completion. So, but that means that, you know, that's the Lord chastising us, showing that we really need his guidance. You know, we can't do it on our own, you know. So verse 2, though they dig into hell, see, that's talking about in the bunkers. And a lot of people think hell is a place you burn forever, but that doesn't even make any sense. Why would they go dig into a place they burn in hell forever if they're trying to escape the missiles? You know what I mean? It just doesn't match up with prophecy, you know. And people, you know, they have this wide variety of mindsets of what they think the scriptures mean. But the elders and apostles have made it plain on tables for us to go in and be able to read this. And I was listening to Elder Manata Zakba a couple of days ago too, when he was going into, it's good to use the actual book too when you read and stuff. you know, because we're not going to have the internet forever, and you want to get used to where the pages are and stuff. Because there was another day, there's a certain individual asking me about stuff because he's got a Bible, and, you know, he asked me about a couple things, and I was like, you know, I went in there and was able to go through the scriptures in the Bible and like show him, you know, and that gives a better sense of the spirituality that we have, because everything's going AI, man. Everybody's trying to be AI. Everybody's using Siri and Chat GBT, and we got the next article that talked about China. They can mass produce cockroaches now, man. Like cyborg cockroaches. They're making cyborg insects. Okay, that's what the Lord said. He got to cut off man and beast. Okay, because he ain't gonna be able to distinctly tell what's real and what's not, man. They're really trying to change this place into AI utopia. So it says, though they dig into hell, thence shall mine hand take them. Though they climb up to heaven, thence I will bring them down. What's that climbing up to heaven? Going in their space stations and whatnot. And you know, that's why a lot of them are nervous now, because a lot of them thought that they could escape, you know, because you got the ultra rich. They thought they could maybe escaping by going into space. That's why you got some of these movies where it shows like them escaping space and then the world gets destroyed and whatnot. But it's like, you know, at the end of the day, they know that there's no way to get away. Verse 3, and though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, which is talking about the mountains, I will search and take them out thence. And though they be hid from my sight at the bottom of the sea, right, going into the submarines and whatnot, thence I will command the serpent, and he shall bite them. And that's talking about the Leviathan. You know, it's the most gigantic creature on the earth, and it's the Lord's pet. It said you can't, you know, in the book of Job, it talks about how dangerous that thing is. Verse 4, and though they go into captivity before their enemies, thence I will command the sword, and it shall slay them, and I will set my eyes upon them for evil and not for good. And that's what's coming to this place. That's why a lot of fear is coming on people. More bunkers is being bought, and at the same time they buying more Bibles. And our whole thing over here with GMS is, we're like, if you're gonna buy the Bible, then that means that, you know, you have to understand repentance. You have to understand that, like, if you just reading it, that's not going to save you. It's following the instructions. But the instructions, you know, you can't just go in there and just read it yourself and know what to do. Because the instruction says there's order. It said, let things be done decently in order. So you got the apostles, you got the elders, you got the bishops, you got all the way down to disciples like me, just young brothers, you know, and then down to the believers. So you have to be in that order, even to be considered to be saved. How are you going to be saved? You know, if you're just going in there doing it yourself. And that's the problem with a lot of people. They don't understand that the last two scriptures say, if you add or take away from this book, the curses is going to come up on you. You know, you see what we did. We didn't even add or take away from it. We just went off and didn't do what it said do. We didn't go and change the doctrine and be like, this is what it's saying. You know, we just messed up, you know, with the Lord. And look what all he did to us. How much more for these people who he said he hate the wicked every day. You know, how much more for them going in there and literally trying to change it. So this is in the next article, China can now mass produce cyborg cockroaches in a robotic factory. Like that's what we get to the point to where it's literally like bugs and everything that's going to be AI, man. And look what they can do with it. This is what they're saying. The attempt to automate mass-produce production of cyborg insects. And look, we'll read the beginning of it. Scientists in China, okay, talking about Moab, the so-called Chinese, okay, the same ones who tried to make this artificial sun and whatnot, right, found a way to mass-produce cyborg cockroaches. In fact, a study shows that scientists have found a way to create these electronically improved insects every 68 seconds without any human intervention. That's what they got AI doing, man. And this is the stuff that they're putting out there. How much more do you think AIs can do? That's why he says he's going to come down with great wrath. Even so-called white man, because they've been doing some shit, man, that we have no idea. And, you know, it talks about in Proverbs chapter 16, verse 4, that the Lord made the wicked even for the day of evil. Okay, so he's got them priming up all this stuff, man, to bring some shit to where, like, you're not getting out of here without Yahawashi. You're not getting out of here. You know, and even the ones that do get out of here, that do have the Lord with them, is going to scarcely get out of here. So it's terrifying what's going to happen. So every 60, and at that time he said, you know, to fear not thou worm Jacob. He said that he will make the beast, you know, and you know, the beast at peace with thee. He said we'll be at the stone as the stones, the league of the stones in the field. Like we'll be like stones to them. Like they just won't mess with us. Like in a battlefield, ain't nobody shooting at a damn rock. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's what makes it you know, the scripture so beautiful, because it ties in with everything, because it talked about we're lively stones, you know, and that's what we're going to look like to the rest of the earth in that day, you know, Lord willing. You know, we have that number. Things will be at peace with us when you got other people who are paying for what? Their judgment for misinterpreting this Bible. That's how serious it is to go against this Bible, man. That it could be your demise in a very painful death. It says this attempt to automate and mass produce the production of cyborg insects has only grown following previous experiments to merge electronics with live insects. See, they've been doing this, allowing them to be remotely controlled without hurting them. That's how they're doing that first, because they want to do that with the MOTB with people. That's why I said, like, they're going to come down with great wrath. A lot of people you're going to see, they're not going to even be doing that shit. They're going to just think they're doing it, and they're going to be controlled, man. You know, a lot of these people, man. Engineers in Singapore have further refined research, also allowing them to equip beetles and cockroaches with electronic backpacks. What if they start making it where these things can, like, blow up and shit? You know what I mean? Who knows, man? But this is the kind of stuff that the wicked does. This is how we're able to distinctly, you know what not to trust in. That's why I said don't trust in the Son of Man, because this is what you're going to associate yourself with. This is what's going to put you in a position where the Lord is going to judge you, because you believing in these people. It's Psalm chapter 55, verse 15. Let death seize upon them and let them go down quick into hell, for wickedness is in their dwellings and among them. That's how they are. And they're going quick into hell, which is what? The grave. You already got some of them down there digging in the grave. Psalm chapter 55, Psalm chapter 141, verse 10. And it reads, let the wicked fall into their own nets, whilst that I with all escape. And how are we going to escape? Being under the shadow of the Almighty, being under the shadow of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, this truth. That's how we're escaping. We're escaping that judgment by waiting on the Lord instead of taking powers in our own hands. And when you go buy a bunker, or you go try to, make a covenant with Esau, even the so-called white man, to keep yourself protected, it's gonna, in the end, that covenant is not gonna fold. It's not gonna fall through. It's gonna fold. You know. But King David was saying, you know, let them fall into their own traps. All the stuff that they're doing is putting them in the position to be trapped in the judgment of Yahweh Bahasham Yahawashi. So while you got all that going on, you got Trump, which is Emperor Nero, spirit of Emperor Nero. And when you go into the Roman Empire, you go in and you learn about Nero, and he was the one who burned down Rome and blamed the Israelites. Okay, and this is the kind of thing Trump, you know, he's got this kind of energy and kind of spirit to do that, to make it seem like it's the Israelites' fault. That's why he got this mass deportation thing going on. He's like, oh, it's their fault that everything's jacked up, right? That's how he is. You know, he's gonna blame us for everything and have these other Edomites coming down on us. You know, because we know that they don't like Jake. They know they hate Jake. You know, and it's vice versa. We hate them too. We ain't gonna just sit here and act like we just love Esau, even so-called white man. We hate his ass too, and we want to see him go to the grave. We want to see him get judged for all of what they've done to us. It says something strange is going on. Trump throws fuel on drone conspiracies, revealing the government knows what is happening. Right? We'll watch a little bit of what he says. Let's see what he says.
That are flying around New Jersey ports. It seems like the American people have a big disconnect.
The government knows what is happening. Look, our military knows where they took off from. If it's a garage, they can go right into that garage. They know where it came from and where it went. And for some reason, they don't want to comment. And I think they'd be better off saying what it is. Our military knows and our president knows. And for some reason, they want to keep people in suspense. I can't imagine it's the enemy, because if it was the enemy, they'd blast it out. Even if they were late, they'd blast it. Something strange is going on. For some reason, they don't want to tell the people, and they should, because the people are really, I mean, they happen to be over Bedminster.
Will you shoot them down?
They're very close to Bedminster. I think maybe I won't spend the weekend in Bedminster. I've decided to cancel my trip.
Cause like, you know, like he knows, like they don't know what that shit is, okay? Cause you know how America Babylon the Great is. If you flying some shit, or you doing some shit, or you flying especially over some military bases or something, they're gonna at least send a probe and be like, nah, you need to identify yourself. And if not, they is gonna shoot at you. But they can't. They don't know what to do with them things. You know what I mean? You can't shoot the vessels of the Lord. If it's a chariot, there's no way. Even if they tried to shoot at it, like that dream that the brother one of the brothers had, Big Judah, he had a dream, and missiles was trying to shoot at the chariots, and it would just disappear in front of them. Like you're talking about a vessel that controls all the elements, like an immortal vessel. Like you can't just. Like, how are you going to look as America Babylon the Great explaining that to, the people? They're going to be like, oh, shit, the prophets are right. So they can't. And he knows, too. He knows what it is. That's why he said, I'm not going there this weekend. I'm not going over there. You know? So he knows what's up. They all know what's up, man. You know? And they're down here doing certain things, too. Getting this place ready. Getting... helping the cause of where it talked about in Revelation, it talked about wormwood, talked about the waters becoming bitter and stuff. This is what the chariots is helping do, man. Watch this. It said radiation spike in New York after flood of drone sightings as Americans warn plan for the worst. See, it ain't never been in history that any nation outside of America Babylon the Great had enough power to just fly a whole bunch of drones over New York, and now there's a bunch of radiation everywhere. Nobody on the planet could do that, because this place runs everything. You know, of course, you know, the small hats, you know, the Rothschilds, these big banking companies, the Amalekites, they're, you know, ultimately the ones running things, but they run it from here. And they don't know what this stuff is, man. They don't know what this is. And the only reason why they're coming out and reporting it is because people are seeing this stuff. And watch this. I want to go ahead and pull this up. People are like, they have to. They don't have a choice. Like, they used to just be like, oh, we don't know what y'all talking about. But the Lord's making it known, like, the chariots is not no game, man. He's letting it be known, like, yeah, I'm gotten them pulling up everywhere. I'm going to show this real quick, because I was watching it earlier. Because you got certain brothers, the Lord just put the spirit on them, and they just be going and finding all these just you know, these videos of chariots and stuff, man. And it's beautiful that he set up those brothers to do that, because those brothers found that stuff, man. Let me go to my history real quick. Just give me 1 second. I don't got too much more left. I didn't try to take too long. Try not to take too long, you know. And shalom to everybody tuning in. Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash, Barak, Atham. You know, we in some beautiful times for Israel, man. You know, we finally are here the last time together as, you know, a family, you know, a spiritual family coming back to the Lord. So it's been many times, you know, that we practicing this truth and knew we wasn't going to make it, because it talked about in Ecclesiasticus chapter 27, verse 9, the truth returns to those who practice her. So we always was trying to practice in this truth. But, it's finally time to go home, y'all. It's a great thing. And it's terrifying, too, at the same time. But see, look at that. That ain't no fake, man.
Pinapasok na tayo ng alien.
Look at that, man. Like, that's not AI, man. Because they all on the phone doing it outside their job. And you're going to look down and show you all these other people. They looking, too.
See, all people, oh.
The hell is that? Right? And that's how the heathen are. They're dismayed at them. And, some of those, most of these is probably Jake's, but they're just, they're dismayed at it too, because they think like the heathen right now. They ain't understanding that, like, those are the vessels of the Lord and they're really coming to save us. That's why we're supposed to be watching all the time. So, and on top of that, the fact that they did this, okay, right, you heard him saying that, the fact that they did this, okay, shows you that they don't know what it is, okay? This is how you know, because they not finna do this. This is a lot of money they losing if they do something like this. Esau Edom's about his money. It says mysterious drones force shutdown of crucial military base airspace. They shut down the whole thing over the weekend, bro. The whole thing. They shut down a whole Air Force base just because of them chariots. Because they know, like, yeah, there ain't nothing we can do. And you know how they are. If they even hear Russia talking shit or somebody talking shit, or they scramble their jets across a certain area, they ass be scrambling their shit, And a lot of times, like, if you listen to certain people in the Air Force that have been in the Air Force, they'll tell you that they have to scramble those jets regularly to keep them running and make sure they're running good. Because if they leave them there too much, they'll just, they won't work right. They got to continually run that shit, to keep it working and have it primed up and ready. So that them doing this is like, yeah, they don't know what that stuff is, man. And they hear and Esau Edom, big brother, watches everything, man. He watches everything. He ain't the true big brother. When we say big brother, it's like he was born first. Esau and Jacob, Esau was considered big brother. Okay. He's watching over everything. So you don't think he's watching us, because everything we're saying, it makes sense to him, because it said that, he was made wiser than Daniel. So we know that, we know definitely he's watching us, because this is the first time Jake's ever woke up to the truth on a mass scale and be able to show that we're finally in the last times. So they're definitely awake to what we're talking about. They've been hiding this for centuries, okay? And they was like, yeah, we good, they done. They done for, So we're going to start right here. And this is really going into, 70 AD right here at the beginning of this, but I wanted to put this in there too, just so it could make more sense. But this is going into in that time, but, today it's going to be like this, but, even worse. Worse than any other time before. This is Luke 21:23. But woe unto them that are with child and to them that give suck, like babies, in those days, for there shall be great distress in the land and wrath upon this people. Right? That's what happened to us. And then what happened to us? Verse 24, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword. Right? Esau Edom was blessed with the sword. So who came after us? Them. And shall be led away captive into all nations. That's what happened to Israel. We were scattered. The diaspora, we were scattered into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. See, there is a certain amount of time they were going to rule. They were going to have things. And they know that. They knew that. That's why you had Nebuchadnezzar. He was so troubled about that dream and asked Jake. He asked Daniel, like, what does this mean? So they've been known since that time that their kingdom is going to fall at a certain point. And the last kingdom will be the Roman Empire, okay? A divided Rome, and that's why you have America, Babylon the Great over here, and then you have Great Britain over there, and all of them, they're feeling some type of way about how America is doing things, That's divided Rome, that iron and potter's clay at the bottom of the feet. divided Rome, and this in a divided house cannot stand, man. And the Lord is about to take down this house, man. So all this about saving America, Babylon the Great, they know that it's not possible. That's why they're going to the bunkers. Verse 25, and the signs, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon. We've seen plenty of those, and in the stars. What are some of the signs? The chariots. They showing videos of like writing, like they to the point where they ain't even hiding themselves no more. And in the stars and upon the earth, distress of nations, right? That's what we're seeing. With perplexity, the sea and waves roaring. Why are the waves roaring? Because the Lord is allowing Esau to destroy the earth. And even those blood moons, they cause a lot of the sea and the waves roaring too. They the Lord uses that to move the tides and stuff. And he's using it to bring destruction upon these false synagogues, false teachers, false organizations and whatnot. He's using that stuff for his will. Verse 26, for men's heart failing in for fear. And of course, this is all Yahawashi speaking. Help men's heart failing in for fear and looking after those things which are coming on the earth. That's why the bunkers is being bought more. Even though they say they're not going to work, they're still going to fulfill prophecy and try to hide themselves in the dens and in the rocks. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Even we did that. Even when we ran in 70 AD, a lot of us was hiding in the rocks and trying to, disappear and go into places where we couldn't really be seen. So how much more now when you got a all immortal power coming down? Man, they getting the hell on somewhere. Verse 27, and then they shall see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. Right? A chariot. So it's talking about. And that's why they're scared, because they never used to call the UFOs chariots. They never called them that. And they knew what they were. That's why they had movies of, and Roswell, a whole thing with the alien discovery thing over there. They did all that stuff to keep Jake asleep, man. But they know those are the vessels of the Lord. And the Lord had them do that as well, too. So they can be caught up in judgment for changing the scriptures. They tried to add or take away. They tried to make little green aliens or some shit look like they was in them vessels, and they weren't. It was us. So-called Negro, Latinos, Native Americans. The angels. They look like us. But they're just spirits. This is Revelation chapter 12, verse 7. And there was a war in heaven, right? See, that was talking about up there, okay? That's why, a lot of them are like real nervous now, because they know now they can't even go into the spaceships. They can't even go underwater. It's going to be nowhere to run. Michael, which is talking about Michael, the archangel, top angel of the Lord, and his angels fought against the dragon. What's the dragon? Esau, even the so-called white man, the Roman Empire, the divided Roman Empire right now. That's what it's talking about, the dragon. Okay? And when you try to mention this to certain people, they be like, well, do you believe in they'll be like, do you actually believe dragon exists and they breathe out fire? Like, if you crazy enough to believe that shit, how could you not believe something as simple as the dragon's actually talking about a kingdom? Like, that's actually less skeptical than actual breathing dragon in the sky and shit. Like, you see what I'm saying? They make it seem like what we're saying is just all the way out far-fetched. This is simple doctrine. Like, this ain't nothing that's just like can't happen or something. This is like legit true doctrine. And the dragon fought and his angels, right? The wicked angels, which is talking about Esau, even so-called white men, and his spaceships and stuff, and prevailed not. Neither was their place found anymore in heaven. They're not going to be found in heaven. And it talked about, you got some people, they coming out and they thinking too deep. They're thinking too deep. Hold on, I'm gonna pull up something. They're thinking way too deep about the realms. Like, basically, you got the first heaven, which is basically like the earth, everything in here, you know what I mean? And then you got the firmament, which is talking about space and stuff. And then the third realm is talking about the spirit world. Like, that's simple enough. You don't got to be all fourth dimension, fifth dimension, and maybe they are out there with those dimensions, but we just go by what the scriptures say. We don't add or take away from it. But we know that there is a spirit realm. Okay, I want to pull this up. 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 12. And I want to start at 1. And this reads, "It is not expedient for me to be doubtless to glory. I will come to visions and revelations of the Lord," right? Revelation means to reveal. You know, he's being revealed this stuff. Verse 2, "I knew a man in Hamashiach above 14 years ago." You know, Hamashiach is talking about Yahawashi. How they say Christ, we say Hamashiach. "Whether in the body," it just means the anointed, "whether in the body I cannot tell, or whether out of the body I cannot tell. The Most High knoweth." So you didn't even know if you was in your body, out of your body, but the Lord knows, because he set that stuff up. And it says, "Such an one caught up to the third heaven." See, spirit world. Okay, that's just something I wanted to add to it. You know, that's how we know that the spirit realm is, you know, in that third realm. You know, and anything above that, we know there's different levels of heaven and whatnot. It talks about the other heavens and whatnot, but these are the ones that we explain. You know, this is the first. This is like heaven level 1 right here, because it said, "As it is on earth, that is as it is in heaven." That's why when we were talking, I was with the elder last night, and he was talking about how, you know, we were talking about in First Kings about in the 22nd chapter about how the angels was up there with the Lord, and he was like, "Let me go down there and deceive Ahab. Let me go down there and put a lion spirit in all his prophets." And then he's like, "All right, go down there and do it." You know, that's how stuff works. That's how you got Esau doing all the stuff he doing. This is Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 2. "Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven." Don't be all confused why they up there. Like, know that they're there to come get us out of here. "For the heathen are dismayed at them." And, you know, wicked Israelites, they're dismayed too. They don't get it. And they be the same ones who say they love the Lord and stuff. And it's like, they don't believe in the chariots. It's like, you believe that he rose from the dead. You believe in this damn immaculate conception where it was just a baby with no kind of sperm or nothing going into Mary and stuff, like, but you can't believe in no chariot. And that's what it just showed that these Christians, man, they antichrist, they hypocrites, man. And they can't be trusted, you know, with the doctrine, definitely. And in Jacob's trouble, you can't trust them at all, you know, because they're going to be demons, because they think they're going to think like the heathen because they didn't trust in the Lord. Verse 3, "For the customs of the people are vain," right? And we know this is going into Christmas. "For one cutteth the tree out of the forest and worketh hands the work of the hands of the workman with the axe," you know, and they talk about they deck it with gold and silver. You know, this is what they about to do now. You believe in this damn Christmas tree and it's Jesus Christ's birthday and all this bullshit, but you can't believe no judgment coming, especially with all the stuff that they've done on the earth. Nah, man. Nah. They over here shutting down whole damn military bases, and they over here talking about it's just some random ass, regular ass drones. There's no way. There's no way, man. That's why they're doing that stuff. They ain't never shut down no whole damn military base over a swarm of drones fucking shit up. You know? They know, man, those are the vessels of the Lord, and they're terrified. So right here, this is my last article. I talked about a Buddhist temple collapsed because of some floods in southern Thailand. This Lord put it down in, yeah, look at that. Good. Good. You know, definitely, there's probably some people in there. Residents fled just before the building came down, so they got out of there or whatever. But this is showing you the judgment of the Lord. He's getting rid of these wicked, evil, you know, mosques and whatnot that, you know, has been set up, you know, and they paying for that because of what they did to us. You know, the Lord is using the elements to show that y'all in trouble, man. Y'all came against Israel. You in trouble. You know? And this is one thing I want to pull up before I go into, they're going to basically they're facing what we faced when they did all they did to us. Let me see if I go back to 32. What did it say? This is what the Lord did to us. Let me go back a little bit. This is how we know it's gonna be cannibals too. We go into all this stuff. So this is what the Lord did to us, man. That's why we like, it's crazy, you know, to us that Jake wouldn't trust in the Lord. Like, you read this Bible, like, this is what he put us through, man. This is Leviticus chapter 26, verse 28. Then I will walk contrary unto you also in fury, and I will chastise you 7 times for your sins. Talking about completion. Like, and even, and you know, we're blessed because the Lord, it said that he didn't even punish much as we should have. And look what he did to us, man. Look at all the slavery we went through and all that. Verse 29, and ye shall eat the flesh of your sons, and the flesh of your daughters shall ye eat. Man, they ain't going to none of that in no church. You read this to them, they'll be like, what? That's in the scriptures? You know? Stuff like that. When Elisha cursed them children, the 42 she-bears went and tore them children up. Man, the churches, you show them church people that, they be like, what? Like, I ain't never know that was in there. You know? And they start finding out like, oh, man, we don't even know the Lord. Verse 30, and I will destroy your high places and cut down your images and will cast your carcasses upon the carcass of your idols, and my soul shall abhor you, which means to strongly dislike, man. That's how the Lord was with us. He was really not fucking with us, man. Verse 31, and I will make your cities waste and bring your sanctuaries into desolation. Why you think we out here teaching on the highways and byways? Why you think we ain't no church? Because he torn all that shit down. You see what I'm saying? This is how you know we're the true Israelites. It matches prophecy. And I will not smell the savor of your sweet odors, right? Couldn't burn incense to the Lord anymore. You know, that's how Zechariah was. He had a job where, he had a job, before John came about, John the Baptist, before he came about, his job was to go to the sanctuary and burn incense all day to make sure, we were blessing the Lord and doing the daily sacrifices. Okay, to make sure we stayed in good standing from the Lord from going off, throughout history, So that's why you see us now. We're like those priests in today. We're those priests today in the tabernacle, in the altar, burning these incense. We're the incense doing the lessons. We're the incense now. You know what I mean? This is us doing the job of the priests that they were doing back then in remembrance of, the ways we stayed in good standing with the Lord. Now I'll bring the land into desolation, and your enemies which dwell therein shall be astonished at it. They're going to be like, I can't believe the Lord took them down. They couldn't even believe it because they knew the Lord was really with us. That's why they was like, man, we got to make sure they don't know the Lord's name no more, nothing. That's why they doing that. That's why they setting up people like IUIC. They just went in and broke down the mark of the beast wrong again and went and changed it up again. Talking about it's an embargo or whatever. All right, whatever, bro. Just go take that shit then. Verse 33, and I will scatter you among the heathen, right? Part of the curses, and draw out a sword after you. And that sword's still on us today. That punishment is still on us today, man. We're not out of that yet. And your land shall be desolate and your cities waste. And like I said in the New Testament, it talked about the fulfillment of the Gentiles doing what? Them running all over our shit and taking all our stuff. That's not done yet. That's how we know we're not in the new covenant, because the new covenant is, being one with Yahawashi and being immortal. We're not out of our punishment yet. This is Obadiah chapter 1, verse 15, but the Lord is coming at them now, and all their mosques is getting torn down and jacked up and whatnot through weather and elements and whatnot. And we know the church of Notre Dame, that's real famous out there in the Middle East, got destroyed too by fire. Obadiah chapter 1, verse 15. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. All them gonna get it, man. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. They tore down all our stuff, right? But in this way, we can't really go and tear their stuff down like they did us. So the Lord's using the elements. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing the judgment of the wicked right now. And we're blessed to know that that's what's happening. Everybody else is just like looking at it like, okay, whatever. You know, but we know that this is all prophecy, man. And we're real close to the end, especially, you know, when this inauguration comes into play. Because then, you know, Edom gets to be Esau one more time. And he's going to do it with all his might, you know. He's going to, and this is the last time he can get back at Jake. You know, this is the last time he can get back at Jake. So, you see what I'm saying? This is all he got left, man. You know, so he's definitely going to come down with great wrath. But we got to be under that shadow of the Almighty to make sure that, you know, even when he does come at us, you know, the Lord's not going to put us through nothing that we can't handle. And we still, you know, refuse to take the MOTB and, you know, refuse to bow to these heathen, man. You know, and die with valor, just like the Judas Maccabees did for Israel. You know, we want to be like that. We want to be like the great men of Israel, ready to die for the truth. But a lot of us gonna make it out of here, to be honest. A lot of the hopeful elect, they gonna make it out of here, you know. But it's definitely gonna be some suffering because we still in our punishment. Until you get beamed up in that chariot, you're not out of your punishment. We can be in that to the very end. That's why I say endure it to the end. That means endure your punishment. So, Lord willing, is edifying to the flock. That's it. Shalom to elect Israel, hopeful elect Israel, Hebrew Israelites, so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, Haitians, foreign Israelites, like the other nations scattered across 4 corners of the earth. I want to give our praise to Barak, Yahawashi. Got to give our praise to Yahawah, Bahasham, Bahasham, Qadash. Double honor to the husband apostles. Great millstone led us all to this truth. You know, peace and blessing to the elect. Lord willing, is edifying. It was definitely refreshing getting to go in here, do some end time topics, do a good video. Because, you know, yesterday I just did one for like 10 minutes and I was, you know, having a lot of stuff going on. And I really wanted to do another one. So it's definitely a spiritual booster to get to come back in here and serve the Lord and, you know, see what he's been doing in the earth. So Lord was edifying to y'all. Peace, bless to the elect. Kwam Yasarala. Shalom.